Hey guys, it's Scott Clark with Scooter Media, and Canon just released some new firmware updates for their Canon R3, R5, and R6 cameras, and I thought it would be a great opportunity to show you how to update the firmware in Canon cameras. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to download the firmware, we're going to put it onto a memory card, and then we're going to put it into the camera, and I'm going to show you how to do this without messing up your camera or doing anything wrong. So let's get into it. So the first thing we need to do is we need to navigate to the Canon website to download the firmware. So we will go to our internet and then we'll just punch in Canon. Well, we got Canon R6 firmware update in there already. We'll just go with that. So we're going to go into this Canon USA and that should bring us right to our, yes. So if I show you the website here, we basically navigated to the Canon R6, which is the camera that I'm going to be updating today. And if you go down to the bottom here, we've got our drivers and downloads area highlighted. If it's not already highlighted, you can just click there. And then below that, we have our firmware highlighted. And again, if it's not highlighted already, we can just click on there. And then down below here are all the different firmware updates. So the one we're looking for here is EOS R6 firmware update version 1.6 for Windows, because I am using a Windows computer. So all we need to do is select that. And then you do have to go in here and agree that you have read and agree to the terms, blah, 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 like any other website. And you click that, and then we can download the actual file. So we can see it's downloading now. We can get rid of this. We can get rid of this. Okay, it's done downloading. We are done with the internet for now. And then we just need to navigate to the downloads folder to grab that file. So we can navigate to the downloads folder, which is right there. And then that first file in there is our ESR6 version 1.6-Windows. So we're going to double click on that. And inside there, we have two files. We have the update procedure PDF, and then we have the EOS R6 160-FIR. So the first one is just going to give you instructions on how to update your camera in various different languages there. The other file here is our actual firmware update, and that is the one that we need to copy now onto an SD card. So if you have an SD card reader somewhere on your computer, you need to insert the card. And I'm just using, again, just a regular SD card. We insert that into our SD card reader. So we've inserted our card into our SD reader. We're going to navigate to the card, and as you can see, I've got something else in here. We're going to delete that. And one rule of thumb I would suggest here, and that is to always format the card before you're going to do a firmware update. So in order to do that, we're going to navigate to our EOS Digital, which is our SD card. We're going to right click on that. We're going to hit Format, and then we're just going to hit Start. And that's just going to wipe everything off of the card. So we hit OK, and that's done. So now we're just going to open up a new window by pressing Control-N on our computer or Command-N on a Mac. And then we want to navigate to our SD card. So now we have our SD card. There's nothing on it. Now all we need to do is we want to drag or copy and paste this FIR file. So I'm just going to drag this onto the root folder of our EOS Digital SD card. And then that's going to copy over. And there we go. So now we can get out of this, and we can get out of this. And now the next thing we need to do is we're just going to grab our card from the card reader, and we're going to insert it into the camera. Okay, so we've removed our card from the card reader. The next thing we want to do is we want to insert the card into the camera. Then we turn the camera's power on, and then set the shooting mode to P. Press the menu button to display the menu, and then navigate to the wrench section. Once we're in the wrench section, we're going to navigate to page 5, and at the bottom of page 5, we're going to select firmware version 1.5.2 from the setup tab on the menu, and then we're going to press the set button. When the firmware update screen is displayed, select OK and press the set button. The firmware update file name will be displayed, so press the set button. Check the displayed screen and select OK and press the set button. Pressing the set button will start the firmware update. It's very important that we do not turn the camera's power off or operate any buttons at this time while the update is in progress, because doing so may damage the camera. So just once you've started the update, just leave it alone and don't touch it until it's done. In the unlikely event that an error occurs during the firmware update, please remove the battery and stop the update procedure. Check the remaining battery level and the firmware on the card, and if there are no problems, start over the procedure from the beginning. If the update procedure cannot be correctly completed, please contact a Canon service center. I'm just going to fast forward this part so we don't have to watch the entire update process. Okay, the update is complete. We just press the set button and we're done. We've now completed the firmware update. Before using your camera to shoot any kind of videos or photos, make sure you format the card to remove that firmware update from the card before using any kind of the shooting modes. I really hope this video was helpful in explaining how to update the firmware on a Canon camera. If you did find value in this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel, as it really does make a difference, and I'd love to have you join me on this YouTube journey. Also, be sure to hit that notification bell to stay up to date with all the videos coming out on this channel. I recently did a video reviewing the Canon R6, which is the camera we use for our firmware update today. If you're interested in checking that out, please click on the link here. Thanks for watching today's video, I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.